Okay, Forbidden Door, Collision, Dynamite, 3 shows, 2 shows, 1 pay-per-view. Chaos of 2 events didn't work. Look, you look at this situation where Dynamite is promoting not only Collision, but also Forbidden Door, and they had to do everything they can to try and make both of them mean something, as well as trying to make sure that Dynamite was interesting. It was a clusterfuck, but here's the question. Do you believe it was an effective clusterfuck? This is what I'm going to be coming down to, and I'm going to make it very clear. I'm not going to literally cover all that's in the show because there was so much. I missed a lot of it because they went from one segment to another, to another, to another, to another. They gave no time for people at home to breathe. They threw everything at this show to promote 2 events and tried to make sure that Dynamite was interesting. I'm going to miss something. Leave a comment below asking me about the part that I didn't talk about, either because I forgot it or I'm going to basically say I'm going to skip it to see what's going to happen next week. But let's open MJF and Cole. A elimination match. Well, the World Championship Eliminator. Basically, if Adam Cole wins it, he gets a title shot. I hate these. I hate them. But I will say this. We don't see it often on AEW TV like Dynamite. We don't. Not often. Well, I don't know about Rampage. I haven't been able to watch it a lot lately. But OH, they do when it comes to Athena. Athena does a proving ground match every time she goes in there. But this is Athena. She's made sure she didn't need to cheat to win, and she whooped ass every single time in the most vicious way possible. And unfortunately, I have not had a chance to see OH in a while, due to the fact of what's been going on lately with so many shows going on and so many pay-per-views. I haven't had a chance to see it, so I missed a lot. But here, I don't like it, but it is very rare, at least so far, and I'm alright with it. But here's the second thing. You had this at the very end of the show when it should have... I mean, you see the chaos that's got me. You see the chaos that's got me. Adam Cole and MJF should have closed the show. Should have, but it didn't. Due to the clusterfuck at the end, they had to throw this, which should have closed the show, opening it. Now, there's going to be some people that say, oh, that was incredible. Come on. No. That's not how it works. You're trying to promote something that's going to lead to something else. We're trying to promote this that should lead to Forbidden Door. But you had to throw it here because you didn't have no room. And it would have been better for the next week, but guess it's going to be probably even more of a clusterfuck next week. So they had no choice but to lead it here. And it doesn't work. It was a great match. Not taking nothing from it. But from a standpoint of how you structure a card for not just your regular show, but for possibly the Forbidden Door, it's a clusterfuck. This is the bad part. I don't agree with it. Now, was it a good damn match? Yes, it was. It was nicely well built. You can see that Adam Cole can go. People were really interested in Adam Cole. You can see that MJF has learned the lessons that he needs to learn. That he's a ring general, whether you like the prick or not. He knows how to be able to ham up a crowd, to piss them off. He doesn't just need to go in the ring. You got to piss off the crowd. And somewhere during that match, he jumps out of the ring, jumps into the crowd, throws popcorn over the place, knocks a drink out of a person's hand, I believe, and pisses them off. And that is the mark of a true... Yes. He's the type that will piss your ass off legitimately to get you to be interested in the product. That's what you're missing when it comes to high-flying wrestlers who do not understand, except for Pac, well, see it like this. Pac got it. Trey's got it. MJF's got it. These are the 3 people that is very young in the business that understand. Well, Pac has been in the business for quite a while, but he's still young enough to really have mastered it. In the end, it's due to the fact of a 30-minute time limit that he lost. Now, not everyone's going to be fond of it because they did it last year. But here, it's understandable, particularly how the ring was involved, the belt was involved, and everyone wanted to see Cole just get over an MJF so he can get that shot, and he didn't get it. And the 5 more minutes was denied. Fine, there you go. Now, let's make it clear. The 8-man tag that came after it had a hard sell. It was good, yeah, but it would have been better if they did not do that there. It would have been better if you had Wardlow and Hager there as a cool-down match, because everyone was hype, but they were hyped for that. This match, when it comes to Mogul affiliates versus a Sting, Orange Cassidy, a Keith Lee, and an Allen, that really needed to be third, not second. Seeing Wardlow dealing with Hager could have brought them down, and then you could have been brought back up by the 8-man tag, which was better. I'm sorry. If you like the Wardlow and Jake Hager match, more power to you, but it was not as good as this one. This one was a better match, but it was in the wrong place, which just did not help. And I think people are going to say, dude, they were cheering. Yes, but look what happened during the rest of the card. It went down a lot once Hager happened, and once you see Storm and Sky Blue. It was bad. That was a bad low. But you know who won. The faces won. We get a little bit of a beatdown, but it wasn't bad. But it was in the wrong spot on the card. And then you get Wardlow and Jake Hager, which went from here. Everyone was here from those 2 matches. Dude, that's what we got. It just didn't feel like anything. Yeah, people were cheering to a certain extent for Wardlow, but it was not that hot. They were not great in Washington, D.C. Now, mind you, it was interesting that this is the first show that AEW was aired on. I forgot. It was at Washington. Been 4 years. I forgot the actual venue they were in the city, in the state. Yeah, it was interesting. But that was the only thing, because literally this open challenge didn't interest me. And I was thinking, Wardlow, he's gone back to the way it was before, boring. And then what do we get after the match was over? We get a badly audioed Titantron of Luchasaurus and Christian. No one could hear what was going on, and even they at commentary had to say it was bad audio. And that didn't help. It didn't help much. Now Luchasaurus is going up against Wardlow. He'll be fed to. Wardlow's going to be fed to Luchasaurus. Look, you see I'm getting the chaos backwards. Seeing that Luchasaurus is going to be fed to Wardlow. That they should have let Wardlow just lose the title and give it to Christian. I don't care. This feels like it was last year when it came to Wardlow. Once he finished the program with MJF, he just fell off a cliff. He was TNT title champion, and it didn't feel like anything. And again, it doesn't feel like anything. For me personally, other people will love it. Me, I do not love it because it feels blank. I feel empty when I look at Wardlow. He should be working with MJF, but MJF is not going to be working with Wardlow right now because he's got too much to do. He's working with Adam Cole. He's working in the main event. He worked with the 4 Pillars. Why would you care about Wardlow at this point when he looks weak? They have done almost nothing but Wardlow but throw the TNT title on him and always revolve it around that. When it came to Samoa Joe, when it came to Powerhouse Hobbs, and I haven't seen Powerhouse Hobbs in a while. When he was doing great with the title, he's gone. When they should have left the title on him, because the Book of Hobbs had more mileage than Wardlow does. I'm just saying. Now, the women's title, this is where another match was weak. Supposedly, Sky Blue won the option to go up against a Toni Storm. I love Sky Blue. She was in NWA. She worked hard to make herself interesting in OH and now also in AEW. Of course, she was in AEW more than ROH, but AEW liked ROH. I gotta remember that. But it felt empty. Why would you put this here? You got a week and a half to build up a match between Tony. But Tony Storm deserved better. Sky Blue deserved better. The match wasn't a bad match, but it felt empty because it didn't mean anything. And what did I tell you guys? If anyone keeps saying that the women's division is great in AEW, it's still blank. You don't book the Japanese wrestlers very well. There's not a lot going on other than once in a while they throw the outcasts out there with, now not even calling them the OGs anymore, with Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, isn't Hiro Kushida supposed to be in there? Or maybe a Willow Nightingale? What happened to that storyline? It went, there was only maybe 3 or 4 women in the entire storyline. In most cases, it was, 4 women? Sometimes 5? It was nothing but a blank slate. You had Saraya. You did nothing correctly with her. You had Toni Storm. You didn't do anything. Yeah, Jamie Hayter did get over because she was already wanted. Then Britt had reached a point where she needed to change and became a face. And now you had a story that you could have incorporated all the women that was on Dark Elevation, Rampage, and Dynamite. Do a huge story with all the women there. Japanese wrestlers and American wrestlers and Spanish wrestlers. Nothing is what we got. Okay, Blackpool Combat Club versus The Elite with Adam Page there. I thought it was going to be Kenny, but seeing Page there made sense because of the story with him and Moxley. The match was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't. I liked it. It was more better than the Warlow match with I'm trying not to bury Warlow and Jake Hager or Sky Blue with Toni Storm, but I got to. I got to do it. I'm botching because I don't want to. It's not their fault. There's been no build for what's going on for Warlow when it came to Jake Hager. That was just something of a call out. When it comes to Toni Storm and Sky Blue, it didn't mean anything because the women's wrestling is good, in some cases very good, but no story. It still sucks. So this was more important than anything else. And you can see how it was structured. The ending of this show was a huge chaos, a huge cluster. When it was all said and done and the Elite won, what did we get? We get the beatdown of once Elite gets beaten down, then you see Eddie comes out and works with Claudio again. I'm going like, yeah, you can see how people are going crazy for Eddie Kingston. A guy last year that they could have legitimately put the TNT title around. And people would have been 100% fine with it. Hell, if they threw him onto the world title match with MJF, maybe it would have been something. No, they did nothing with Eddie, and he was gone because of injury. That was understandable, but before that happened. Then you get Kenny coming out. Then you get Kateska coming out. Great. Then you get Will Ospreay coming out because of what's going on when it comes to Forbidden Door. They're trying to combine everything they can for a beginning of Collision with Forbidden Door. I'm sure when it comes to Eddie and Claudio, that's going to be more about Collision than it will be about Forbidden Door. I'll be surprised if they continue that to Forbidden Door. To have Eddie back going against Claudio, who has been his longest rival since the time of ROH. I doubt it. They'll throw it on Collision. Then when it comes to Will Ospreay and his IWGP US title, understand that. And when you see all the vid packs that they had, it was a build to Forbidden Door, but they did throw a little bit of Collision then due to the fact of CM Punk. And I want to say this right now, I do know about the ticket sales for Collision not being good. Well, what do you expect? It's Saturday. It's not the same. Why? If Tony couldn't get a slot other than Saturday, he's screwed. Because not everybody's going to want to see Collision on Saturday. They'd rather see it during the normal day. And as much as it'll hurt me, I do agree with Just Alex when he said Collision should be on a Thursday. But then that means Collision, understand, it would hurt because you got Impact Wrestling on Thursday and New Japan Pro Wrestling on Thursday. So you would have 3 shows going up against one another. You have AEW Collision. You would have, well, actually 4. I take that back. 4. Because you have Collision. You have ROH because it's on Honor Club. Impact Wrestling. And then New Japan Pro Wrestling. There would be 4 shows, and one of them is an AEW show next to Collision. It would get screwed. But it would make sense to put it on a Thursday because they can't put it on Friday. They can't put it on Wednesday. They can't put it on Tuesday. And they definitely can't put it on Monday. The only slot they have available would be Thursday because they can't put it on Sunday. That's a dead time slot. Worse than Saturday. That's just me. And I know I'm missing a lot. There's several things that were talked about. I'm leaving it alone. Like the champion of New Japan Pro Wrestling going against Bryan Danielson. I know, but I'm going to leave it. There was so much on this show. I need more time to absorb it and see how they're going to progress it going to Forbidden Door. Peace.